Now we want to find the LCM of three terms. The process is still the same. We need to first factor these. Okay, so for factoring that, the first one, we can take out an x squared. And we factor that out, we get 64x squared minus 16x, and then plus 1. But that can be factored again. So we're going to do this by the trial and error method. So here we're going to do 8x and 8x. We'll start with that for 64x squared. Now the one in here, there can only be one combination, one possibility there. So I'll just put the ones in there. These would have to be negative to get the negative 16x. So let's multiply to make sure we did this correct. 8x and 8x is 64x squared. We have minus 8x. That gives us minus 16x. Negative and negative is a positive 1. So yes, that is correct. Now we could also write this as 8x minus 1 squared. So that's a good thing to do. If you see something like this repeated, it's better to write it as a square. Now the next one, we're going to factor out x cubed from there, and we get 8x minus 1 left, and that's it for that one. And of course, we also have x to the fourth, which is, it can't be factored, but we have that as well. So my LCM have to be made up of this, the first one, the second one, and then the x to the fourth. Well, first we'll take care of the x's. X has to be raised to the highest power always when you do LCM. So we're going to do x to the fourth. Next, we look at the 8x minus 1. Now we have to pick the highest power of that as well. That's why we want to make sure that we write it this way as a square if we see that, because that will be important for us to determine the LCM. So x to the fourth, 8x minus 1 squared, that would be it for that one. Again, the highest power of x we used and the highest power of the quantity we also used here. Let's try another one. All right, so this next one, we've got these three here. So for the first one, we need to factor out an x, and we get x squared minus 49, but that can be factored using difference of squares, x plus 7 and x minus 7. All right, so we've got that for the first one. Now the second one, we can factor out an x. From that one also, we get x squared minus 14x plus 49. But that can be factored again as well. So the factors of 49, we want two numbers that multiply to make 49, but add to be negative 14, x minus 7 and x minus 7. Now this last one is going to be a difference of cubes. So for this, we can write this as x quantity cubed. And 343, that can be written as 7 cubed. If you're not sure what number that is, you can just take the cube root of it. If you take the cube root of 347, it gives you 7. So that's how you know what that's going to be. This is a difference of cubes. So we're going to start out with x minus 7. And then it's going to be x squared. And then we have plus AB. That's going to be the x times 7, or 7x. And then plus b squared. So it's going to be plus 49 we have for that one. Okay, so now the LCM is going to need to be made up of everything that you see here. First of all, there's an x that needs to be in there, so we're going to include that. Okay, next thing is we've got the x plus 7, x minus 7. X plus 7, x minus 7 we have there. Now this one, see how there's two of them there? So this could also be written as x minus 7 squared. So because I see two of them here, I need to put a 2 on my LCM. So again, it's always important to write it. You can only do a square if the signs are both the same. That's why I didn't have that for the one above. x minus 7 is the x minus 7 squared. So again, that's the reason why it's important to write this out as a square. Otherwise, we might have missed that if we didn't see that that was a square. The highest power of x minus 7 needs to be used here. But also, don't forget about this last one. That this thing needs to be in the answer as well. X squared plus 7x plus 49 also needs to be there as our answer. Okay, so this is what we're going to have. X times x plus 7, x minus 7 squared, and we have this big one there. That would be considered the least common multiple.